What's going on, good people? Welcome back to Four Titles, One Truth. It's your boy Tommie.
And I'm Lance. And today we're celebrating the women who shaped us the most, our mothers. The strength, the sacrifice, the love, and the legacy that made us who we are today.
Yeah, facts. Let's go.
So, what's one lesson your mother taught you as a child that still guides you today? It's hard, man, because I'm this.
When we read over these, we was like, what in the world? I will just say, my mom gave me the compassion that I have. You know, she gave me, just by seeing her, because she's one of those people that she's very devout Christian, right? And so, and it leads her life, you know what I'm saying? So
Helps guide her.
Absolutely. So her care for other people and her just willingness to just give them the shirt off her back, you know, just do whatever. She used to take meals to everybody from with the church, and it's just, I would just say that the biggest, I would just say just her example of just compassion and my just being in awe of how committed she is to Christianity. So
Okay.
I think that's the biggest thing. And I've always tried to. I'm nowhere near as good as she is, but I've always tried to have empathy. I've always tried to be compassionate towards people.
See, that's mine probably from my mother's learning that and watching her and talking to her, just learning that empathy piece, especially with her. I mean, because that's an important part of being a nurse.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
my mom was a nurse also. So learning that piece and watching her and seeing her, then seeing how she goes about it, I don't say using it, but just displaying it when it's not just in not when it was just in the nursing, her
World,
job, but just how she approaches others.
Period.
And her kindness and her want to help others and do for others. I mean, it's just,
amazing.
and that's probably and I know that's one thing that I've gotten for her.
Right.
Gotten from her is that piece of it where it was just, then just being, my mom is very, very calm. I have never really seen her, and that's probably later as I got older, later in life, where I learned that, because I'd never seen her just like blow up, you know, if it wasn't blowing up on me when I was a kid, because she used to.
I can't say the same about Daddy Jones.
Yeah, but very Christian. I mean, church, and just all of that.
Just kind.
Yeah, just genuinely, just a kind, loving person.
Yeah.
So
that's what everybody says about my mom. They're like, one, she's aging so well.
Yep.
And then two,
oh, absolutely,
the sweetest. She's the sweetest woman.
yeah, absolutely.
And I say,
that's why I hope I can keep those genes that she
yeah, absolutely.
that she had, because my mom because your mom is turning what this our next year.
8.
Yeah, see, my mom would be turning 80 in April. So, but don't look like she's 80, and then just a little bitty lady. So,
but I'm gonna tell you, my mom's compassionate. She shows me how to be empathetic and show sympathy towards others. But boy, I used to get
got
a
a
lot
mean
of
streak. Well, that's what I'm saying. I said I see it in other, could see it in other. But growing up, it was like, Jesus Christ. I mean, she used to take whatever, whether it was a belt, a pot, a pan, or whatever. Yeah, just.
Okay.
Oh.
But
yes, but lovely women. Oh man, just the sweetest little lady that you would ever want to encounter. So
yes. Let me ask you a question, and I'll answer it as well. Where's your mother from?
My mother's from. She was born in No Water, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So then they moved from there to Denver, Colorado.
What made that move?
I,
Was it
job
work,
probably
maybe?
work. Yeah, probably work because her dad was from my grandfather was from Coffeyville, Kansas, and then her mom was from No Water, and they're right there,
Yeah.
border
Yeah.
up there,
Down
yeah,
back
north,
right.
yeah,
Okay.
right there. So
Kansas.
they met. That's how the grandparents met. My mom was born, and then I'm sure it was work that led them up to Denver,
Right.
which was a blessing because then that's how
nice.
my father met
Okay.
my mother because he was at the Air Force Academy,
Yeah.
and they had to go up and
Oh, so he met while he was. Oh.
he met my mom while he
Okay.
was I think she was a senior in high school when he first met her. I don't know if he was like a sophomore or he was a sophomore or a junior. There's one of them. But he met her because he had to escort. They were escorting. It was one of them what they used, a little cotillion or something like that.
Gotcha.
So they had some of the cadets, and it was black. So the black cadets
Went
go
there.
up and
Okay.
escort, and he just
Wow. Got
that was
a
that
little
was
fond. I got you.
that was it. So
Oh.
that's how they
Wow.
met. So that's why so we would go to I would go to Denver every year, whether it was
See
for
your
summer
grandparents and
vacation.
stuff?
Yeah, so that was just a normal trip. Just a normal trip. So
So my mom was born in Middletown.
in Ohio.
Middletown,
Wow.
Ohio. Yeah.
Wow.
And yeah, so she's been there. She's seen the change, the growth, and all that stuff.
Wow. That's like Audra's mom and dad.
Springfield?
They had both been born in Springfield.
Really? Yeah.
Yep.
So that was she. Just listening to her describe, like where she used to live and all that stuff. It's just interesting because where she used to live, where she was born, right now is it's beside where the post office is.
So is the house still there?
No.
Or? Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, they ran through that a lot, but no,
Okay.
that's crazy.
That is.
Yeah, but yeah, we're Middletown, and then my dad came up to Middletown.
So
yeah,
where was he
from
coming
Troy. He's from Troy.
Oh,
originally.
Troy. So
yeah.
but they're both from Ohio.
No,
though.
well, Dad's from Alabama.
Oh, Troy,
Right,
Alabama. My
right.
bad. Okay.
And then he met her in Ohio. Yeah.
Right.
So Mom says that she had a girlfriend that said, "You should meet this guy." Yeah. And then next thing you know, hey.
So the rest is history.
Yeah. So it was me, baby, and then my sister Beth. She's 2 years older than me, and then my brother. He was 15 years older than me. Yeah.
That's a nice little.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I got the older brother that's 5 years older than me. Then my younger sister is 3 years younger than me. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So looking back, what sacrifices did you see and you remember your mother make so your family could succeed?
I think when I was younger, just her not pursuing her her career and dreams and stuff till we got to a point, and then she started her nursing career a little probably later than normal because she had 3 kids and she was helping raise 3 kids.
Yeah.
My father was full-time working and doing the extra stuff. So in order for us to
turn out okay.
yeah, have a parent, present there till we got to the age of where we could go, okay, y'all know how to get in and out the house. You know how to cook your food.
Yeah.
She didn't
Get out.
Yeah, she didn't start, her nursing stuff to as far as like going to school, and so she was, a grown woman.
What grade were you? Do you remember? Give or take.
I was probably in the around. I was 8 or 9. So what's that, about 3rd grade? Yeah, about at least 3rd grade because I remember going to her graduation, and they had to wear the whole white uniform and the hat and all of that
Old
stuff.
school nurse uniform. Huh?
Yep. So I remember remember her doing that, and so her just taking it because she had before she had kids, she was actually a stewardess.
Oh, really?
Airlines.
Oh, geez.
Living in New York, was living in New York and just
Wow.
all of it. Yeah. So
Transamerica.
I
I'm just
was
throwing
no,
all those.
I think it was. I don't. I think it might. I don't know if it was one of the ones
Yeah.
TWA or
Yeah.
it was one of those. I have to ask her
TWA,
that.
Transworld.
But
I think is
but she had the
the outfit.
no, well, not the outfit, but the luggage, because they used to give
Oh,
them luggage. It was that hard luggage. She had that stuff for years
wow.
because she would never get rid of it.
Ah,
She's like, she's like, it's the best
a
luggage.
memory.
Yeah, it's the
Hey.
best luggage. I had to ask her who she worked for. I'll let y'all know the next time. But yeah, so she did that. Then just took that break. Marriage, kids, and then once we got old enough, it was
Mercy.
okay. I'm going to do what I, try to give, try to reach my dreams and to help out the family, bring in some more
Right.
income into the family and stuff. So watching her do that, and also be, not shuck the duties of being a parent, mother, being a parent. So,
So I mean, I'd say the same thing because my mom was a stay-at-home mom as well, and just know because my mom was just so smart.
right.
You know what I mean? She, and what I mean by smart is, like she knew words, and just she knew things, and just to hear her talk. And we used to play Scrabble. It used to be a thing we used to play all the time, Scrabble and all that. But she was always an impressive mind, first off, for me growing up. But yeah, for her to just, because she started off as a secretary.
Okay.
And then she just said, they came to the conclusion that she was going to be a stay-at-home mom. And I just remember there's nothing like being able to look back and just remember that she was always there. Always there. The first face you saw in the morning, because my sister didn't like me too much growing up. And the last one you see at night, and just knowing that she was cooking and doing all that stuff. So that's one big thing. Another thing I throw in there is just her commitment to her religion, man. It was just like, it's just not only, it's one thing to go to church. It's another thing to participate in the service.
I was about to say, yeah.
But then it's another thing to take on those after-hour things. Like I said, she used to deliver meals to the people who couldn't get out of the house. She used to visit, take flowers to
That's
the
a
older.
job too.
Oh,
I mean, that's like being an employee too, because that's absolutely.
And it was just like, and I've gone where she'd take the meat platters and stuff like that. So I've gone and sat there and just see the people's reaction to her. And she used to sing in church. She could sing too.
Yeah, that's a job.
That's why
itself.
I say, that's where I say I got it from. I'm not going to do any music or anything.
Oh,
so
thank you.
Please don't
request.
Don't request that. But I think the sacrifice when it comes to that, I mean, in being in a black neighborhood, and made the decision to take her family to a white church outside of the neighborhood.
Okay.
And then to be so active in that church. And same with my dad. They were just their biggest thing, and I'm sure it was church led or whatever. I'm not sure if it was their idea, whatever. But they came back to try to bring black people to the church.
Okay.
And that's why I said they had the bus ministry, and my mom was a Sunday
Trying
school
to integrate
teacher.
mix it, make it more diverse.
Yeah,
increase the diversity in.
Yeah, so it was just impressive to see, but at the same time, the reason I say sacrifice is because she was such a great volunteer, but once again, she was always there, So I would say those two things right there are the biggest sacrifices that I saw outside of being a stay-at-home mom and just worrying about everybody, and cooking all that stuff. So.
Okay, all right. So how did your mother's strength show up during the toughest times in your family?
I mean, the toughest time that we had as a family was my father passed away.
I understand that.
So
That's ours. That's
uh, the thing is, like, and I know you can relate very well. She was by herself with him when he passed away. He passed away of a heart attack. But the fact that not only to get through that, but after Dad passed, she sort of made a commitment to be where my sister Beth and I was, so she'd always travel to come visit me, come visit my sister. My sister used to live in Florida, and then everywhere I lived in the States, Mom came to visit. And so that was because after Dad passed, they were together for like 33 years, so you can understand if people go into themselves, being with somebody that long. But for her to change who she was when it came to travel, because like I said, growing up, we didn't travel much.
right.
Put it this way, we traveled, but it was in the car to go see family.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? We didn't
that's
go
how,
to,
I mean, yeah, that was vacations for us. Yeah, I understand that.
so we didn't go to like Disney and all that stuff like that. We just stayed around. And then when we did go out as a family somewhere, it was like in Middletown, there's Armco Park. We'd go there, or we'd go to,
Go to Kings Island.
Kings Island, but not as a family.
Okay.
Kings Island was huge, and Tom Jones and Eddie Jones.
You went,
No,
they weren't doing all that walking.
No, not at
Okay.
all. But
I
but
understand.
specifically when Dad passed, and I told this story before, but at Dad's funeral, I was so concerned when I left to come home, because I was in the Army. When I left to come home, I was so concerned about her, because I know they'd been married so long, and now she's in the house by herself because, like I said, sister had moved out. My brother passed away in '02, I think, and then I was in the Army. And so I was just so concerned about her that when I came home, I was like a guard, nobody was coming to see
Was
her.
there any other family there still?
Yes, like she had her brothers, but
Okay.
that's a whole nother conversation, you know what I mean? But put it this way, and because I don't want anybody to think negative, but her brothers were reliant on her,
Okay.
because she sort of took over when my grandmother passed.
Okay.
For
So she was like the rock for
she was the
everybody.
second oldest.
Okay.
So she had that role and already instilled in her.
Yep.
So nothing negative, but I came back, and like I said, family from Troy came. People kept coming by the house, and I was the one to answer the door, standing there like, all
Guard.
right, you can come in. Don't you make this woman. That's the presentation I'm putting on, not saying anything. So we get to the funeral, and they have the wake before the funeral. So during the wake, it wasn't organized, so nobody was sitting down. We had seen the body before everybody came and all that stuff. So,
Yeah, meeting and greeting.
yeah, and so everybody's coming up to her, and the family sat in the second row, right, from the front, and the casket's going to be right there. And so I'm like just standing there. And so by the time the funeral's about to start, that whole row is full. She's the first person. My sister's next to her, and the whole row is full. So I'm like, I ain't got no place to sit. So I didn't want to leave her. I couldn't sit
Stood right
behind
next
her.
to her.
No, I had to sit in the front row.
Oh,
Yeah. So I'm sitting in the front row, and you look up, your Dad's casket right there. So,
that's
oh my God! And then,
That's wild.
and this is another thing, because my dad, I know without any hint that he loved me, right? But it just wasn't his way to always say that. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it wasn't his way. He was a pusher, you know, to where he tried to energize you or motivate you to go do something. And if you did it, it wasn't like great job. It was like go do more, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it, as a kid, you have that feeling, and it didn't go away. You know, it's still part of my psychosis I talk about. But anyway, I never felt that I was accomplished enough, you know, and so I'm always
Trying to
trying,
drive it.
yeah,
That's
trying
what
to
he-
do stuff, and so which benefited me well in life, you know. But as a kid, it sort of made you
Right.
feel a kind of way. But like I said, he brought home money for the family. He was all he when he came
Provider,
home. He
did
yeah.
all of the stuff that you
And,
say. Yep, that's
and
a good
you know,
man.
if you were hurt, he'd be like, "Let me look at it. You okay?"
Right.
Yeah, and stuff like. And he used to call me sport. You know, just all kinds of stuff, right? And so imagine me as that person now as an adult,
Dope. Mm-hmm.
and then I'm sitting in the front row at his funeral, and then you hear person after person getting up talking about how
him.
much he loved me, how much he used to brag about me, how current they were on my service, and just the sports, you know, all that stuff. And
You
I'm
sitting up in front just crying
man,
like a
and
baby.
remember I said I was gonna be strong for my mom,
Oh yeah.
and I just I'm talking head in my lap, just bawling. And a couple of my friends came and sat beside me, Larry and Adam, and they're sitting there bawling with me, you know, trying to help me through it. And then while I'm crying, you know, I just feel a hand on my back and just like, you know, patting me and rubbing me, and I'm just like, man, Larry, Adam, thanks for being here for me. Man, I mess around, sit up as my mom.
Your mom. Yeah. I mean that's. I mean that's a similar story
For
to
you.
yeah, because we were sitting in the front, and my father's casket was right, you know, and it's open, so I could see him, and I'm already for the last couple of days just been crying. I mean, just crying like then just being there, knowing that this was gonna be the last, you know, really the last time seeing him in that manner physically. I mean, I was crying because my mom was sitting here on the right here.
End.
God, I can't remember. My brother was
Y'all were in order, family order. That's usually how it goes.
and then well, no, you know what? My brother was sitting on the end. My mom, I think my mom was in the middle. I was here.
Okay. And then your sister.
And and Shannon, because Shannon got up and went and talked. I couldn't even get up and go talk.
There ain't no way.
But I was sitting there and I was just had my head down, just crying, and my mom, like you said, it's gonna be okay. You know, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna
and
be
that
all
just
right.
made me cry, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it did it help?
Resolute,
yes,
boy.
Yes,
Resolute.
it helped. No, it didn't help. I mean, it was just made it.
It's their strength, though, man.
Yeah.
To where their need to care for us overrides their thoughts of themselves, and that's.
Yeah, I mean, it's a similar situation for us. Because when my father passed, and it's only been what 4 years, you know, be 4 years in October for us. I mean, that was just because my father was such a big, was such a rock, was such a big piece of not only our family but his brothers, his, you know, their
right.
kids,
The oldest,
their
right?
friends. Yeah. So I mean, so he was the oldest, heavily involved in church. You know, was, you know, on the board and just all of that. So it wasn't just me and our family that it
he affected.
I mean, it was folks, and my parents have been married for at that point 54 years.
Oh wow.
So I mean, it was man, it was just, and I mean, and I never saw her like just break down or be not be able to saw her break down whenever
too.
when he first when he
Viewing?
first passed.
Oh,
But after that, never. I mean, she would cry, but not where she couldn't, where she wasn't trying to. You okay? You need
yeah.
something. That
Looking
where it's
out for
like,
everybody else. Like, hey, woman, take a moment.
yeah,
Yeah.
So I mean, so it was just that piece, and luckily, whenever, because I was still in the military, we
Yeah.
were in Virginia.
Yeah.
My brother's in Colorado Springs. My sister lived there,
Still
has
there.
been there. So I was so thankful that Shannon was
Yeah.
still there. Then my father's brothers there.
Yeah.
Then their
So she
kids
wasn't by
there.
herself. Yeah.
Yeah, so she had folks there, which was extremely,
Blessing.
extremely
Yeah.
blessing, extremely reassuring, and just made me, just more calm. And I was like, okay, she's gonna be okay.
And so we had sort of, and that's what I was saying about my mom. So I had my son with me when I got there, when Dad passed, and for the funeral and stuff. And so, well, let me go back. The only time I saw my mother break was the first viewing. When the body's finally finished in the casket. And that's where I solidified that I'm going to be strong for her. And then the next day. But anyway, like it was perfect because I was there for 30 days. And then I had to go back. I was an instructor at the NCO Academy. So I had to go back. And then I convinced Mom to come with me because I had an apartment and everything. And so she came back and stayed with me for about maybe 20 days,
That's
right?
good.
And then she went home, and then she went and stayed in Florida.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then she just kept going back and forth. And then what ended up being was she would stay with one of us, my sister more than me, but she would stay with one of us and then only go back to check on family, or to check on friends and stuff. So it was amazing that she was able to adjust herself so that was an outlet. Because, some people.
That's probably good. I mean, especially when after she's been living. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean,
because
that was
a lot
probably
of
a good
people
thing.
don't travel or won't travel.
Well,
like
yeah,
that.
and you didn't want her to sit there in the
No,
house and become
did not.
depressed.
No.
And I mean, just there's so many
Yeah.
things that could.
Yeah, because they're only going to answer the phone so often.
Yeah.
So that was it. So, but as you grew into adulthood, right, and later into military service, what role did your mother play in keeping you grounded?
The biggest thing is that since we were both, because I did nursing. Yeah, I did nursing. I changed my major to nursing because it's like, oh, my mom's a nurse.
Right.
See what she does. I can do it. I mean, that's not going to be.
She did it?
Yeah, she can do it. I can do that too. That's not going to be hard because I never saw her stressing out about it. So I was like, okay, this would be a good deal, because I'm got ROTC, got wrestling. Yeah, I know I can get, man. I mean, and that nursing was kicking my ass. I mean, it was, and anybody that's out there that's a nurse that listen to me, that
ain't no joke.
listening, I don't even have to tell you. I mean, that shit is not, it is not for the faint of heart. It is not for the faint of heart. But the plus in that is that when I was in school, she could tell me, hey, you probably need to do this or focus in on this stuff, or it's going to be, she could give me that where I could be like, okay.
And real life experience.
Yes. And I mean, and then when I got into the military and I was, a bona fide nurse, then it was like, hey, giving me just different pointers about being a charge, being, just looking out for this. And as I went up and I started getting bigger jobs, it was like, hey, this is what upset us, or this is what your nurses are going to be looking for, and then just how to deal with or how to approach. I shouldn't say deal with, cause
lead.
But but just like older nurses that might have had more experience than me, and
have
I mean,
a problem with a young
being a young
around.
person, and I mean, so just the just being the humility of everything, and just how to approach it, and then we were talking about earlier, the empathy part of it, just.
That's what I was going to ask you. Did she have a conversation with you about how
nursing?
you should,
Yeah.
about the patient, you with the patient.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
remember
I mean, I'm trying to think what she said to me. But a lot of it was just a natural, just how you try to mimic or try to what do you call that? Mimic someone's actions
Right.
and
Yeah.
how they go. So a lot
Their
of it was just
feelings,
how they, knowing how my mom was and how she treated me and treated others, and because we didn't, I mean, because she worked in like a heart section of the hospital where and we, I mean, we wouldn't go up there while she, and actually getting to see her. Like do her thing. I
Right.
got to go up there when I was like in high school and seeing her
How
work and
she acted,
be waiting for her and
uh,
watching her deal with her
right.
coworkers and see her with patients and how she was and stuff. So I mean, it was that piece where it was like, okay, but just no, just the thing that probably other folks have you hear it, but then it's like to hear it and then actually see it in motion and see it play. Where say it's like that could be your family member there. So treat them how you would. It was like treat them how you would want them to treat me or your father or your grandmother or your somebody who you love to the
No, I get it.
to the degree.
Right.
So how would you go about and then it was like, okay, I mean, and then
You hit moments to where you're like,
then you then you act and you do it, and then that just the more that you do it, the more that you
admire.
I mean, and it just becomes natural, and it's not something that you're trying to think about because I think a lot of nurses you don't think, I mean, your actions that you're doing, I mean,
A lot of
aside
nurses
from
sometimes feel cold.
and I mean, and that those are some that just aren't. I mean, and that's just what can you do except for?
And I know that they get a lot, and every family, there's 1,000 of them. But like I've been in the hospital with my father and with my mother, and there were times where I was like, "Let me ask you one more time to make sure that you're getting what I'm saying," But I respect the medical field and all that. But sometimes some of them come off real cold.
It is. I mean, and it's like it's that's something that should be checked.
Yeah.
It really should be checked by whoever's in charge or whoever's, because it's the same way with you have to check the physician sometimes because I don't think that they get that that training.
Yeah.
To be thinking that way because
In chaos.
They're matter of fact. I'm doing this. I mean, because that's why a lot of them are really good at their job because it's like the medicine part of it. But the people part of it, where it's just like, I mean, because that's what I mean. I would, because whenever I would go to, well, especially now, I go to the doctor or whatever with my mom. She's having a procedure or something, and they don't know that I got I got that background. So be like, who are you? Introduce. It's the simple thing. Introduce yourself.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Just instead of coming in and spitting a bunch of big words and then just walking out. You sit there and make them
comfortable.
Make them
Because if they're there,
speak
it's
and do all of the things that they need to do. So
well, that's great.
Yeah.
Hearing that. So my mom, like I said, everybody sees my mom, especially growing up. First off, they'd say she's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And then secondly, they'd say, oh, she's so sweet, right? And so anytime I was with her around people, the way she kept me grounded is she always checked me in front of people. You know what I'm saying? So she came to visit me when I was a drill sergeant.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm walking with her in the PX and soldiers walking around out of uniform, whatever, right? And so I just go in, you know what I'm saying? And she was like, come here, Tommie, come here. And I'm like, come on, she'd come visit. I'd introduce people. She'd come to the office and she'd try to check. Well, I was first sergeant. Soldiers come back. They would say, you need anything, Mom? Oh, yeah, can I get some water? Hey,
go get me some water.
And she was like, I could have got it myself. I'm like, and then the
shit.
people just laughing and loving the fact that she's checking me all the time.
That's funny.
And then they'd always come back and say, "Ooh, we love your mama. Your mama changed you." So that's how she kept me grounded. No matter how old I am, no matter how much experience I have in life, when I go back and I'm around mom, I can't drive right.
Hey, you're a
I
kid.
can't.
Yeah, you go. I mean, you go back to being a
I
kid.
can't. Yeah, according to her, she's correct. Ooh, you're going too fast. Oh, you turn it. Don't turn like turn them.
You
It's
go.
it's
Okay.
it's what I'm used to and what I expected. And I had a conversation with Nikki one time. She probably punched me for saying this, but she used to go and visit me at home. Now, when I go home, the alpha sits down a little bit because my mom and my sister, they give it to me, right? They check me. They always telling me something. Well, no, it's always that, right? So when Nikki used to go home with me, it became three.
Just on you. Pop, pop,
Oh
pop.
my God. And so I actually had to have a conversation with Nikki. I'm like, look, I said, it I'm getting it when I get home. I said, can you please not? Can you be my ally?
That's right.
Or just not jump. And so she at first didn't acknowledge what I was saying, but then one time she saw it and she was like, "Oh,
Like, come
oh
on,
yeah,
please.
oh my
Yeah,
God,
I hear
you
you.
know how it is, man." But
Yes.
then, oh, because
Yes.
when she realized that we were in the car.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was here. My mom will never sit in the front when Nikki's there. So Nikki was in the front, and then behind me was my mom, and on the right side in the back was my sister. And so it's like
Just taking blows from the back seat.
left,
Just
yeah,
seeing.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah, it's everything. And Nikki was like, oh, she tapped me. She's like, oh, so yeah. I said, yeah. So it's a sweet thing, wonderful thing. But mom has always seen me as her child, treated me as her child, no matter the situation. And
See,
it's
that's
just,
good. I mean, and at the what you call it, I would be wrong if I didn't mention my mother-in-law because my mother, Audra's mom, was a nurse also.
oh,
So when she was
I
there
don't think I
from
knew that.
the beginning of
Right.
my
Yeah.
career, so we had conversations about things. So it was nice to because that helped us to bond. Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
one of the things that helped us to bond and get close.
Become
And
her favorite.
her favorite son-in-law. Yes, absolutely. I am her favorite son-in-law because I'm her
How many
only
she got?
son-in-law.
you know,
But yeah,
and I'll say the same.
but
'Cause,
that was a good thing. So
so Nikki's mom, Barbara, call her Babs.
Miriam.
I remember the first time I met her, uh, she used to work in a commissary. And at the window, at the cashier window or something.
Customer service
I think it
window.
was. Yes,
That's
it
what
was one of those windows where she wasn't online. She was in there, and she introduced me. Nikki introduced me, and she came on out, was looking me up and down. And from that point on, she's like, "Hey, Tommie." That's how she said my name. But she was. The weirdest thing between me and Nikki is my mother and her father are similar. And then my father and her mother are similar to the point where birthdays in the same month, to the point of the just the way they carried themselves, the energy they had, and the same for my mom and her father. And it's weird about that. And unfortunately, same with my dad. Never got a chance to meet Nikki or her parents, but that was always. It was a reminder of my father, So
That's a good thing.
I had a very soft place in my heart for
Yeah,
her. So,
that's a real good
but
thing.
yeah, she was. We had a Cadillac bond.
There you go.
Yeah, that's where we were. So.
There you go.
All right.
All right. What do you think was the greatest legacy your mother has built for you, your siblings, and your generations to come?
Legacy. I think the biggest legacy is just my sister and I, and my brother before he passed. But we all turned out to be good people. Like I said, I took on a lot of my dad, right? But if you were to call me a knife, mom dulled the edges.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm calmer.
Took them 50,
Well, just
53
yeah,
years to be.
yeah,
She's still dulling
yeah,
them edges.
100%. And so I would just say that the legacy she left was, if you have faith, jump in the pool of faith.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just walk on the edge.
Right.
I'd say that. The second thing is, I'd have to say that family, no matter how hard it is, no matter how bad it gets,
Mm-hmm.
or how great it is, family is something you have to sacrifice for.
Yep.
Because through the good and the bad, and I'm not just talking about our family. I'm not just talking about my dad and her relationship. I'm talking about with her brother, her brothers, and all that. And so I would say those two things: her faith, and then her sacrifice for family.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I mean, similar situation. I mean, similar things. Like with my siblings and we all turned out good. Very good, successful.
Yeah.
But then I can also just her kindness, her giving nature that came down through me. That I see it in my kids.
Yeah.
My son and my daughter.
Okay.
So I'm seeing that. Thinking about the question and just like, man, that's seen it already because both of my adult kids are great. They're great adult people, and they're very kind and probably too kind to a fault. It's like my broke ass son taking cupcakes and things into work. And it's like, you can't afford. What are you doing? It's just like that's just just as because he just wants to help, wants to be, just bring up some, lift spirits and things like. I said, okay. I said that's good. I said, but I would rather you be a supervisor when you're doing all of that. But it helps.
Right, absolutely. With the esprit de corps.
The others around.
The spirit.
The good things, which is that's a good thing. That's you're learning early. But just that piece, just being just that empathy and being kind, and and it's that's a good thing because I would rather have that than somebody that's coming in that I would have to put out my house or punch in the face or something like that.
Get out of jail.
Or trying any of that stuff. And same thing I see with my my sons, my brothers, kids and grandkids and stuff. So just good adults, even with faults or anything that they had, they're still good people. Genuinely good good folks, good adults, because all of them are grown.
Mm-hmm.
So
let me ask you this: how many brothers and sisters did your mother have?
My mom had.
I'm sorry.
My mom had a younger brother.
Mm-hmm.
Mark was the youngest. Then she had because my mom was the oldest.
Okay.
So she had a sister under her aunt Marva, then my aunt Nita.
So both oldest, huh? Father and so they both had that. Okay.
Yep. And then my mom. Now my mom just has her sister Nita that's still up in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
That's alive. Her sister and brother passed.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and it's just funny because I look at them now and they look the same. They look like twins. Except my mom is smaller, but they look like it's like, yep, y'all had the same mom and daddy. That's for sure. So, yeah. So how many brothers and sisters did your mom have?
So my mom, she had, like I said, I'm gonna name them in order.
Okay.
So my grandfather and my grandmother were married, and then they got divorced later.
Okay.
But they had Jerry Jr. All right. Then they had Nettie Jones.
That's your mama, right?
Yes. Then they had Michael. Then they had Gilbert.
Okay.
And then they had Frazier.
Okay.
And then my step grandfather and my grandmother had a son. His name is Greg James Wood. Yeah.
So 6.
Yeah. So 6 total.
Wow.
And so my uncle Greg is 15 years older than me. So my brother.
I was about to say, so your
Yeah,
brother.
they're around us. I got a picture that is amazing of them two when they were babies.
Wow.
Yeah. So growing up, my Uncle Michael's one I told you took me hunting.
Right.
My Uncle Gilbert, my Uncle Jerry, they stayed with my grandmother for a while, or lived with my grandmother. And then my Uncle Greg, he was in the Marines,
Okay.
and I think he did 13 years. Yeah, and then he got out. He was a huge influence on me making that decision, and then giving me just the most real advice I could have possibly had, you know.
And they were all in the in
Middletown.
Ohio. In
Yeah,
Middletown?
all of them in
Wow.
Middletown, except my Uncle Frazier. So let me be not let me be accurate. My Uncle Jerry was in the Air Force for a while.
Okay.
But he came back to Ohio. Yeah.
Okay.
Uncle Gilbert worked in Middletown. My Uncle Michael lived in Middletown and worked in Middletown. My Uncle Frazier, he joined the Navy, and then he stayed out on the West Coast.
Okay.
So I have no memory of seeing my Uncle Frazier in person, but I have 1,000 memories of talking to him on the phone, you know. And then, like I said, my Uncle Greg, he joined the Marines and then came back. Yeah. So, yeah, that was it. That was that was the crew. And it was, all that meant was it guaranteed a full house every holiday.
That's, I mean, well, because we're back, in Illinois. That's how my father's brothers were all there. Yeah,
okay.
my mom's people were all in Denver still. So
yeah, and that's how it was because my dad's people was in Troy, Alabama. Yeah. So, all right, look, if your mother was sitting right here today and you had an opportunity to give her flowers right now, what's one thing you'd want to thank her for?
I guess just making sacrifice and always looking out for us, just the advice.
Yeah.
You know, and just the understanding, because I can't remember a time where I can't remember my mom ever just beat me down or just
physically.
Yeah, that too. I mean, I put them out of my mind, I think.
I was about to say. Because Nettie Jones, I know a lot of times.
But just very encouraged. I mean, just for the encouragement, the encouragement, and then just, I guess, helping me to, teaching me how to treat
People,
a lady. People, a
lady.
A
woman.
Yeah,
gotcha.
A woman.
Got it.
Just so that I could
be with where you are now.
Be in my situation and where I am today. Okay. So yes, thank you, Shirley. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. So mine would be Nettie, Mom. Thank you for always being there.
Yep.
Like I said, every day. I was the baby. And
baby Tommie.
Hey, I was. The fact that you were always there, I thank you. The fact that the unconditional love that she gave me, I thank you. The fact that I always knew she was in my corner, whether she was chewing me out, whooping me, or listening to me and agreeing with me. And then the last thing, the example you put of how a person could be on this crazy earth and still be righteous, you know, not perfect. Don't get me wrong, but to live in faith, that's the most impressive thing I've seen.
Yeah, be a good person.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I believe, you were talking about the relationship that the baby boy and the mom have.
Mm-hmm. You get it?
I see it, yeah. Well, I see it with my son. I was the baby boy, but I was the middle child.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was still, wasn't like Wasn't that same relationship that I see going on with that, where it's like, you talking, why ain't you
There's
knock
a
that joke in the
connection there.
head? Yeah,
There's a
it
connection
is.
there,
I
without
see
a
it.
doubt.
I see it for sure.
Yeah, and my sister to this day, she likes you better.
She's the middle child, right?
She's yeah,
I
but
understand.
she was the oldest for most of my life.
I
So,
understand.
well, I mean, but look, parents don't love one kid more than the
No.
other. So I tell her all the time, it's equal love.
I think it's girls
It's
and
just
girls
maybe
too.
I'm a little bit.
Because my mom and my sister's the baby, but her and my mom can bump
Oh
heads,
my
and it's
gosh,
just like
my mom and my sister, they've been gay. My whole life, they've been going at it.
been bumping heads.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But that's what I'd say. I'd say thank you.
yeah.
But the last question I want to ask you before we close this out is, do you have a funny story that you could give about your mom?
I can't. I'm trying to. I mean, I saw this, and I was trying to think.
Mhm.
Like I cannot think of anything where it's just like, what? I mean, because it just
Yeah.
she wasn't goofy like
Yeah.
my father was. Just like, what in the stop? What, you know, that type of thing. My mom wasn't. She's. I mean, not serious, but always so.
Yeah. Like you see her as the rock.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
a straight lace. Just you know. But still, I mean, a fun person. Still, not saying she's not a fun
Doesn't
person or
sound
anything
like
like
it.
that.
Shirley.
She'll be here
Miss
next
Shirley.
week, so I'm gonna let her know
Miss Shirley.
so she can come on over.
We met her. Just never got a chance to hang out with her.
Yeah. So
So this is my one Nettie Jones story. So once again, I was in that age between 5 and 8, somewhere around there. And so being a baby boy and having the energy that I have, I'm sure people can look at me and say, you was a bad little boy.
yeah.
But I wasn't. I was just, I was a good boy. But anyway, I don't know what I did.
Okay.
I have no idea what I did. But she was about to whoop me. And so I always say I got my athleticism from my dad because he was 100% an athlete.
Mm-hmm.
But when I look back, my mom was an athlete too.
Chasing you?
Because, oh my God, there was one time. So growing up, we had 2-level house, and you had one room, parent room, another room, right, and then bathroom. So some reason we were in our parents' room. I was in my parents' room. My sister was in her room, and some reason something happened. It couldn't have been me. It was probably something with her because I didn't do things wrong when I was little. So
Of course not.
but she wanted to whoop me,
Uh-huh.
and I think she either had like a slipper or a whip. She used to have a switch, you know, but it's something she had, and she was trying to hit me. I was like, not today. So I took off running. I come out of her room. I run into my sister's room. She is right behind me. So I jump on the bed and I hit the left, the right, and she right there with me, left to right. And then I was able to get by her, and I'm going down the hallway to the other room. She right behind me. And then I was messing around and left to right, hesitate, then started running out, going down the steps. She right behind me. And before I could get down to the first floor and get into my speed, because I don't know if y'all remember, but I said I was fast, boy, growing up. But she caught me. And I'll tell you, man, just the fact that she used to chase me, it was a belt that she had. Because she was
Coming back.
she was wailing and trying to hit me while I was running. But yeah, Nettie Jones, she used to work. I used to make her work for butt
To-
whoopers until she started grabbing my wrist, and then that wasn't
you couldn't
fair.
get away.
Yeah, that wasn't fair.
No, I mean I got one of those that store one of those stories where just because I wouldn't run from my father because I knew it was
No.
gonna be, but my mom I would always. I mean, just take. I mean, I was small, so I could get under beds, I could get under couches and stuff. So I would do that, but she would.
Get you in the air.
Yeah, but she didn't have any. It wasn't any rules for her about what's by. Oh, I got a pen in my hand.
Didn't
So
have
she'd be under the thing, bing, 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 or whatever it was. She would just. Whatever GI Joe doll. I mean, it wasn't
Whatever
a
she could
specified.
grab.
Yeah, it wasn't a specified thing. I mean, and that's. I mean, and she'll tell you like, yeah, he used to run, but I would.
Get him anyway.
Yeah, she would because I would get in like the smallest little places to what you call it. But then my mom had little arms and stuff, so she could
Plus
reach
the
back in there.
extension.
Plus whatever the extension was. I didn't think that was funny, but it when you think about it now, it is kind of a.
You was what, 15, 16?
Shit. At the knees. Take them out, y'all. Take them out at the knees.
Oh, my goodness.
No. I didn't run and I wasn't getting butt whoopings at that stage. I was smart enough at that point. So,
See,
Jesus.
hey, Miss Shirley, I take everything back I said.
See?
There it is.
See? All right. So now that we're fathers and husbands, how has your perspective on your mother's sacrifices changed?
I mean, I know I've said it 3 times already, but she was always there. I can't
Right.
for a second imagine that consistency now. You know what I'm saying? Because I got married later in life, so I don't have that young 20-year-old evolve into who I am now. I had Nikki, I met, she was in the military with me, you know, and we both had children before we met each other. And so seeing that done to the level that my mom did that, I'll bring Dad in this. I don't know how that joker worked like at a minimum 12 to 16 hours a day, but he still would get up. He'd still come to a game if he could.
It's a high bar.
Oh,
Man. I
my
mean, when you see what
gosh.
they did with the
time and
but
the
the time,
income,
the
yeah,
incomes, and it's just
100%.
like you go back and you think about a time where it's like I would never,
Yeah, you're in
for
awe of
want
that.
of anything,
Yeah.
and when I did ask, we'd be like, man, I had some good Christmases and birthdays,
And we talked about it before, but the fact that so from the age of 3 till I left, we lived in one house.
Yep.
And so the neighbors knew us. We had my friends, my closest friends were
Yep.
right there. So all
Well, you knew your neighborhood and in your city, and
could walk it blindfold, you know, and it's just you just can't.
yeah,
I can't imagine that kind of commitment and sacrifice. And I don't mean to crap on any modern day family. I'm just saying I can't see how that could be done now, but I absolutely see the benefits of it.
oh yeah,
But and the ability for my parents to create a world where I don't remember struggling, because we weren't rich.
no,
You know, we weren't. We didn't have AC regularly in the beginning. We didn't have cable in the beginning.
Right.
You know, and I know that's the evolution of man and all, but the fact that I remember when I think about the times growing up, it brings a good feeling.
you had a happy
into my
child.
heart.
I mean, that's it. You had a
absolutely.
happy, joyful
Absolutely.
childhood.
Absolutely.
You know, other than you would get your butt beat because
Some-
you brought that
some-
on yourself.
I
It wasn't
still-
like yeah.
I still don't say that the whoopings I got were my fault. There sometimes it was my
Mine
sister.
absolutely were my
Beth.
It
Beth
was
was
absolutely
Beth was
my
a
fault.
problem. You know what I'm saying? She was a bully.
She telling on, she'd be
She was a
telling on you
bully.
stuff too.
No, and let me bring in my sister real quick. She didn't tell on me. It's the fact that my parents never believed she would do what I was doing. So I got in trouble. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I got in trouble because of me, right? But I got in more trouble because they never for a second
Thought it could be her.
thought, what?
Say no.
What?
Yeah.
What's that noise? Tommie. So
Yeah.
that's my thing. But yeah, man, what can you say, man? It's just
Yep.
that's all. I just can shake my head and just say that it's I'm in awe of what they were able to bring us through. They protected us from racism.
Yep.
They protected us from bullying.
Mm-hmm.
They protected us from feeling poor.
Yep.
They protected us from feeling inadequate. You know,
Well, I mean, that's what I think.
and they weren't perfect.
Yeah,
You
I mean,
know what I'm saying?
that's what I think that it was. And when I know when I say whenever I think about it, it's the same way that I think about when we we're still raising our kids and stuff. It's like you just want better for your kids than what you had, or you want them to have a better experience than what you experienced.
Absolutely.
And then because
You feel
they
they don't deserve
because
it.
they are
Yep.
because our parents all grew up during where it was
Yeah.
segregated race. I mean,
Yeah.
super racist. I mean, where it was
Jim
just
Crow.
blatant stuff
Absolutely.
like that. So I know that ours wanted us to see it because it's there, but not to have
Protect
to
us from it.
deal. Yeah,
and
they want it better for
make
us
us, yeah.
than what.
make us better.
Yeah, than what they
Absolutely.
had.
Yeah.
You know, the struggle. They didn't want us to have the struggle that they had
Yep.
coming up that we did. I mean, it was the same for us, and that's what I would say sometimes. Like, man, maybe I should have made them. My kids make them struggle a little bit just to see. But they still. I mean, they still came out as
So Kevin Hart
good
has
folks,
this
so.
joke, and I don't know if it's a joke, but it's funny, to where he had that moment with his two kids,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, you know what? Y'all don't understand how good you have it. So he was in California, flew them back to Philly,
Philly. Mm-hmm.
and while he's telling the story, I forgot who he's telling it to. The guy was like, I think it was Will Smith, was like, you took him on your private plane? He's like, yeah, but don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. So, it starts from there. And then he says he takes him back to the house that he lived in. And they were like, oh, this is awesome. They're so hyped. And he was like, no, I'm trying to get you to understand where I came from. And everything he'd show them that was horrible to him, like they didn't have any grass, right? When he was growing up. Now they have grass for days. And they're like, oh, that's so pretty right there. And he was just like, he said, never mind, let's go. So he ended up taking him back home. So I just imagine.
Like looking like a playhouse
Yeah.
to them when they just like, this is where I
man.
actually had to grow up.
Struggle.
Yeah.
And then the kids find, because the way you raise them, they find the best in that. This was probably cool. And you're like, never mind, man. But the point is, yes, hope for your kids to be better than you.
Yeah.
And that's all you can do.
Yep.
And try to
I mean, I
provide.
appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it big time.
So I'll just say, look, one thing I know for sure, our mothers taught us resilience before we even thought about putting a uniform on.
Yeah.
So their sacrifices gave us the foundation to lead, to serve, and to even raise our own families and be in a family.
Yeah. And while we wear the titles of veterans, husbands, fathers, and black men, the truth is we stand on the shoulders of the strength of our mothers.
Absolutely.
And the love that they bestowed on us
Yeah.
unconditionally. So
I don't have anything else to add on that one. I love you, Nettie Jones. So thank you for joining us for this special episode of Four Titles, One Truth. And now we would love to hear from you. You know, what's one lesson or sacrifice or even funny story, right, from your mother that shaped the person you are today?
Let us know. Please, we love
check
to
in
hear.
with us on all social media platforms at 4 Titles, One Truth, or you can watch us live and in action on YouTube
Live
at
and
4
in
Titles,
effect.
One Truth.
Yep. So y'all join us next time so we can keep the conversation going, y'all.
There it is.
Next time, I want to hear from y'all. I'm not even going to say it. All right. Peace.